You were born. And since you came into this world, you've had questions. Why are we here? What is our purpose? Forget what you've heard.
Hi, I'm Trent Jones. Sophomore year, my mom shot herself.
Forget what you've been taught. Forget this world and everything you've seen. Forget hypocrisy. Forget Sunday school. Forget Christians.
My name is Anthony, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my situation and story. Tomorrow, I'm actually being sentenced for my actions.
Forget hatred, jealousy, anger. Forget war. Forget money. Forget poverty. Forget religion. Before all this came to be, there was nothing. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
Hi, I'm Mary Scott, and I just want to share a little bit about my story. The day I left to go to camp with all my friends, my mom went to Duke to get see the doctors, and that was the last time I saw her.
In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.
I had a lot of anger because of that. I was mad at her for leaving me, and I was mad at God for letting it happen.
The true light, which gives light to everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, yet the world did not know him. He came into his own, and his own people did not receive him.
For the last 7 years, I've really struggled with drugs and lived on the path of sin.
But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. There is a God. Before the earth, before the heavens, he was there. And everything you see, everything you hear, everything you touch, everything you feel, everything you desire, it comes from him.
My mom had always kind of struggled with being sick. Like she had just constant, like she had really bad lungs, so she would always be on inhalers and things like that. And then things really took a turn in 5th grade.
The world and everything in it is his. He is almighty. He is fierce. His power is unlimited. His wisdom is beyond our imagination. He is a consuming fire. He is perfection. And this God created man. We turned away from our God. We turned our backs on our Creator. Each and every one of us walked away from the light. We rejected the goodness and joy of God and turned to sin. In the absence of light, we became darkness. We come and go in this broken world, reaching for anything to bring us back to life, but nothing fulfills us.
When I was in 8th grade, I dealt with a lot of bullying. It made me feel like I wasn't good enough. So one day I went to my dad's room and I grabbed 357, and I put 6 rounds in.
The last year and a half, I was homeless, living in Charlotte, basically running with the devil, doing that type of life, and it all caught up to me. And on June 8th, I was locked up, and that's when I feel like God saved me from myself.
Darkness cannot be in the presence of light. God saw us in our hopelessness. He knew we were trapped in this sin.
March of my 7th grade year, my mom finally got her new organs, and that was great. But the problem with transplants is that there's always a chance that the organs can reject the body. So we always kind of lived in fear of her getting some really minor sickness and then her organs messing up or anything like that. The day I was leaving for my school trip to Windy Gap, my mom was going to Duke just for a checkup because she wasn't feeling so well, and that was the last time I saw her.
And I pulled the trigger, and it clicked. And so I opened it up, and there was only 5 bullets. God saved my life that day. My sophomore year, after my mom died, I felt overwhelmed, and I felt like I would be better off dead, and I just wanted to go to where my mom was. Like, no matter where she was at, I wanted to be with my mom. So I took a rope and I went out in the backyard and I threw it over a pine tree, and I went to go hang myself, and I jumped off the stool and the rope broke. So I ended up on the ground on my knees, and I realized like there's got to be a reason I'm here.
And since that day, I've just been trying to get closer to God. Even though I'm gonna lose my freedom, I feel like I'm gonna be free from the inside, because I no longer have to hold on to all the past. I can just start new and live fresh.
So he sent his only son into this world. He offered himself for us. He knew he must suffer so that we might live. The wrath of God that should have been on each and every one of us was absorbed by Jesus Christ. And by his wounds, we are healed.
In the Bible, God says that he will give you trials and tributes, but nothing more than he can let you handle. And I truly believe that he used this situation in my family for his good. And whether it's simply shaping me into the woman he wants me to be, or blessing whoever it would be that watched my family through this time, like, I know that God used it for him, and I know people were blessed for him, and I know I was blessed for it, despite the fact that I lost my mom.
On the 3rd day, there was a miracle. Jesus Christ was resurrected from the dead. The light of the world overcame the darkness. Jesus is alive. Because he lives, we can now live through him. And if you accept him, God sees you as he sees his son, holy and blameless. We have the light. Let us not hide behind closed doors. Let us not be silent. In the darkness, the light will shine. Let us run the race Jesus is calling us to. Let us never look back on the life we once lived. We must reveal the hope that we have to this world. We must expose the light.